My ex-husband tried to name our baby when I was pregnant, the same name that he picked out with his ex-girlfriend.
Imagine pregnant for the love of your life and time to pick a name for the baby, and he's picking the one related to his ex. Let me go ahead and roll this clip for you all to watch to the end, and I'll be back at the end of the video.
I'm sorry for the filter. I look a hot mess today. It's raining. My hair is a mess. And if you know anything about me, I am divorced from a very toxic, abusive narcissist who controlled every area of my life, basically, for years. And this isn't necessarily a narcissistic story time. This is just another story time of how my ex-husband was just terrible and delusional and just all of it. So when I was pregnant, he told me we are not going to find out the gender. I didn't have a say in it because he was like, you know what, this has always been a dream of mine and we're not finding out. And I highly doubt that it was actually a dream of his. It was more of, I really wanted to know and I would love to have like a gender reveal party, even if it was just something small. And he was like, nope, that's stupid. We're just not going to find out the gender. So that was just, number one. So when we were picking out names, we just had to have one for like a boy and a girl whenever we had our baby. It was like, we already have the name, here we go. So when we were picking them out, we were going through a bunch of names and I said, a name that I always love for a girl is Charlie. And he was like, that is crazy because I have always wanted to name my daughter Charlie. And I was like, that's crazy. So after we were like, okay, yeah, that's the name for the girl. Like we were set. I was so excited. I was like, I love this name. He loves this name. Like that was so fast, whatever. And we like sat on it for a little bit. And I come back to him and I'm like, okay, well, if we do have a girl, like we need like a middle name. And he said, oh, well, me and his girlfriend, let's call her Sally, his ex-girlfriend. Me and Sally loved the name Charlie Rose. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, so you and your ex-girlfriend of like 7 years had this name picked out that you were going to use. And now we're going to use it. And he was like, yeah, I just love that name. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a step back. I know it might seem dumb, but this is like some weird connection that you had with your girlfriend of a very long time. I would be okay with changing the name because it's just a name. I understand. Like on one hand, it's just a name, whatever. But on mine but this was like a thing that you had with your ex-girlfriend. I don't want that name connected to my child. Just a thing, call me jealous, call me whatever, I don't care. So basically I told him, hey, I'm not okay with that. Let's pick something else. Maybe we can circle back to it, but our first kid is not going to be connected with you and your ex-girlfriend. Which, let me say a side note, him and this ex-girlfriend and him and his family have had this weird like obsession with his ex-girlfriend where they still love her. They invited her a bunch of stuff. Go watch my baby shower story time where they saved her a seat and not me. And I don't know, it was just a whole thing. So I'm trying to get away from her kind of thing. It wasn't like this is the only thing that ever popped up. No, I'm trying to get away from the ex-girlfriend. Please, let's just have something that's just us. That's going to be a no from him. No, he set on it and he told me that if we have a girl, he will put it on the birth certificate and this is going to be it. Thankfully, we ended up having a boy and didn't have to do that, but
Tell me you're not over your ex without telling me you're not over your ex. Hey, beautiful people, how are you all doing today? Choko Maya David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. I've posted a video from this lady, I think 2 days ago, and she was talking about the first switch of a narcissist husband. So apparently, during the honeymoon, that was not when it clicked to her that she had to divorce. So they still had, she's trying to convince herself that probably this is not really who he is and everything. But he's her ex-husband. So now, how can you plan a name with your ex-girlfriend of 7 years ago, and now you and your present wife are trying to name your child, and now you are like, let's name her this name because you and your ex-girlfriend of 7 years ago had already decided that this is the name you name your daughter? It's giving, I am not over my ex, I love my ex, I do not love you in my own head. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. I have few stitches to share with you also. Let us watch the stitches together and I'll be back at the end of all the stitches.
To name our baby when I was pregnant. The same name that he picked out with his ex.
Tag me in, coach. So, my grandfather, my mom's dad, actually named all of his daughters after his ex-girlfriends. And my grandma didn't care. She thought they were nice names and she went along with it. And so now my mom and her sisters all have names of my grandpa's ex-girlfriends. Susan, Nancy, and Jacqueline.
So my ex-husband tried to name our baby when I was pregnant.
When I tell you, I have been waiting for this. Hold on. For reference, okay. My daughter is from a previous marriage, okay? I was married, had a kid, we got divorced. It is what it is. When she was a baby, also, okay, sidetracked. I am one of two girls in my family. Neither of my parents have remarried, had more children, and it's just me and my sister. And so it was somewhat important to me for me or my sister to have a son to carry on my family name. Or just my family in general. Like I know like us girls, like having girls, like the DNA goes down. Anyways, if you don't understand, you don't understand. It's fine. So it was really important for me to have like a boy in our family to like carry on my dad's legacy. My sister had a son and took my dad's first name and gave it to my nephew. And so I eventually was going to have a son, but we didn't know at the time. And when I was married to my ex-husband, we weren't sure if we were going to have more kids. And so we had the one and we found it was a girl, and my dad's middle name is Charles. And so it was really important for me to name a child after my dad. Now, like I said, I didn't know I was going to have more kids. So I was like, we're going to name her Charlie. My ex-husband was on board with that. Charlie, that sounds good. Then we would go to like families' houses and they would be like, what are you naming her? We're like, Charlie, after Missy's dad. And they'd be like, oh, Charlotte. And I'm like, no, Charlie. My dad's name is not Charlotte. I know Charlotte is the feminine of Charles, but his name is Charles. His name isn't Charlotte. And so I'm not going to feminize her name. I'm either going to give her his name or I'm going to shorten it. I'm not going to change it. And that was just my personal preference. And everyone was like, no, Charlotte, no, Charlotte. And I'm like, no, her name is Charlie. So we changed it. Her name is Kennedy. We love her. She's a Kennedy. It's amazing. Fast forward 10 years. Her dad, her biological father, my ex-husband, we've been divorced now at that point by 10 years. And we had just found out that he and his wife were going to have a baby. Found out it's a boy. And my daughter, at the time had like a really great relationship. So she was over there a lot. And they would be like, what are we going to name the baby? Going to name the baby. And his wife would be like, I really want to name him Charles and call him Charlie. And fully knowing the history of that name, my ex-husband and my daughter were like, maybe let's do something else. And so they did. And they gave him another name and he was the cutest little boy, whatever. Well, our life has changed a little bit, and my daughter, we just like no longer have a relationship with that side of our family. And we knew they were going to have a baby. They had a baby just a couple weeks ago, and we didn't know that they had had their baby. And so we found out from like other people, and we were like, oh, weird. So we go and we like look online on social media and look at the baby, cutest baby ever. Tell me why my ex-husband named his son after my dad. You named your son after your ex-wife's dad. Also, so my dad's names are William Charles. My nephew got the William. My son, we ended up having a son, and he is Beau Charles. He's named after my dad. It is what it is. They now have this child, Charles. And I was like, I have known him for a very long time. There's no one in his family named Charles, and I'm almost positive there's no one in her family named Charles. So I'm like, you're telling me that you essentially walked away from your own child and then named your new child after your ex-wife's dad. Named him the name you were going to name your daughter that you just decided you wanted nothing to do with. And I will die on that hill. I will absolutely die on that hill. He literally walked away and then named his child the name that we were going to name our child together after my dad. I've been sitting on this story for a while. I think it's so hilariously ridiculous to me. Like, when we tell people about this, we're like, and they're like, why are you smiling? I was like, I don't know what else to do. I have no idea what else face to make. The ridiculousness of his actions are just like, what? Like, we don't know what else to do except have that reaction. So yeah, I do know what that's like. My ex-husband actually did name his child after his ex-wife's dad, the name we were going to name our daughter together. I don't know if his wife knows that though, so maybe someone should tell her.
Christy, kindly put your thoughts, your comments, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinion are accepted. If you kindly put them down respectfully, this channel doesn't support hateful speech and we don't support violence. Yeah, feel free to have your opinion. So we're talking about names. I know some people might say it's just a name, it doesn't matter. It's just a name. For me personally, a name means a lot to me because if I get to meet you or know you, the first thing that I ask for is your name. And even if I forget your face, once you just tell me your name, it rings in my head. I remember a lot of things about you. Like, I have memories with names. So I cannot imagine being pregnant for the love of my life. And we're about to have a baby. A beautiful baby. Then we're deciding names, and eventually we come up to a name, and later on I'm finding out that this name is related to his ex. I'm going to be very pissed, because it's giving I'm not over my ex. It's giving I want my ex to be involved in my life. I want to always see my ex in my future. I want my ex to be with me forever. I want to be seeing my life and be thinking about my ex. So I want to believe that the love of my life is not over his ex, and he wants to always have her in mind. And I'm like, I'm not his choice. He just saw me because, I just married just because I was not his first choice. So this name thing is annoying. And this man, I don't get it. Why name your child after your ex? It's just not normal. And this particular post makes me remember a post that I made sometime last year, whereby this girl, the ex-girlfriend, came on to say her ex-boyfriend, or the guy she almost got married to, started chatting her up and was like, you know what, let's come back together, I miss you, I'm thinking about you. Mind you, that man is married with 3 kids. In fact, I think his wife was actually currently pregnant as at when he was chatting up the girl. So it was a girl that came on TikTok to be like telling us, like, look at what's going on. This guy messaged me, blah, 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 blah. My ex, this is that. She almost got married to him, but because the man was like, you know what, stop working, I would be with you and all of that. To cut the long story short, the wife came home to reach out to her and be like, you know what, this man has been cheating on me from day one, and he named our children your name, or he gave one of your children, and to think that the woman still stayed in the relationship, it's annoying. To me, I feel like men that does that are men that they are not over their ex. You were not their first choice. They are just with you because life happens, or because probably the person that they actually want to build that family or build that future or that their dream life with said no. So they are just using you in place of their ex, and which is annoying. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. What is your take on you naming your child your husband's ex father's name or the girl's name? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Are you going to be okay with it because name is just a name, or you're like me that's like name means a lot? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and thank you so much for sticking around to those points. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and kindly turn on post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload interesting video like this one. And I'll see you all in my next one.